What's up? What it do? Man, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in DC. Just eating my lunch. Not bad. I see all them, what do people say call them? Right wing Negroes. Still saying what they think is good for DC. I'm talking about the ones that's not from here. But I had a conversation with a relative, and they brought something to my attention saying, how do you know some of these jokers is really the feds? Like, where they coming from? Look at the picture that I got on the thumbnail for here. How do you really know if they really the police? They got dudes riding around in them my cars. Now, some of them say what agency, but look at this dude right here. He walk up on you. He look like he been in law enforcement all his life. How you like? How you know he for real? For real? Did they just tell anybody to come put on a vest and get him a gun? How do I know he really the feds? He walk up on me and say, man, put your hands up, get in the car. Now, for the ones that say they won't tell you their name or their badge number, why would you go with them? Like, what is a person supposed to do? You say how many times we had crisis actors? I don't know. I've been hearing that term a lot the last few days too. How many arrests so far? What's the stats? I don't know the stats exactly how it go day for day or week for week, but I know the stats that they just released with all of them together. One of them said something like 500 arrests. But let me tell you this, like I said before, DC normally make that many arrests anyway, but they ain't telling you. There's something like 200 of the arrests is immigration joints. DC never make immigration arrests. Said they giving out 50K. He making the gun look like Look low as shit. No, boy, it look like a deuce on this big ass. Some of them not wearing badges either. We do have the right to ask to see their officer police credential, correct? According to DC law. I mean, and some of them dudes, like FBI and DEA, they still be having their name and number on their junk. It be them ICE dudes that don't have nothing on. They had 500-pound motherfuckers out there. You feel? Look at that. Then they came up with a federal hotline for $500 to tip on anybody. That's rough. I don't understand what they call themselves doing. Like some of these people, I'm telling you, they look like they straight from Hazard County. They they hitting all little spots here and there for real, from what I see. They say big boy ain't chasing nobody. He's gonna have to hit you, right? Like he remind me of a security guard that they gave a fed vest to. Salute, C-Note. Damn, somebody said ICE came over Alexandria and took the whole roofing company away. God damn. Where are they putting all these people, man? Somebody say, bro, work out PG Plaza for real. Where are they putting all these people, bro? They was uptown yesterday. They so they so vicious with how they do it, right? They was uptown yesterday, and for people who don't know what uptown is, it's a certain part of Washington D.C. But they was uptown by this place called the Carter Burn, like a park area. Some Spanish guys take their lunch breaks up there in their work truck. They was up there snatching people out their work truck. That is true. Virginia permits it, but they forced D.C. to do it based on the home rule charter. It could be harmful going forward. But how many of y'all heard that Trump gonna be out in the streets with law enforcement tonight and the military? I'm gonna make a little joke. I ain't serious, y'all, but when the last time a president came out in the streets with law enforcement, like trying to stop crime? Like, is it me? Am I tripping, or is this some wild shit? This got to be some of the wildest shit, right? Yeah, it was uptown 8:30 this morning by like the old strip club. Combos on Georgia Jab. That's like Kennedy Street, 100 plus deep. I ain't see that. I wish somebody would have gave me that video. I ain't been uptown all day. Yeah, I just saw that. Man, I'm telling you, Trump gonna be in the streets tonight. I'm gonna go. I might take my real camera out. I'm gonna get that photo out, cause that's what it is. It's a photo out. Trump about to start riding through niggas' hoods like he the king. He gonna be on the top of a Humvee or something. Watch, he gonna make a big ass spectacle. I might try to catch him. Somebody said he got 4 vests on. Nah, that nigga just ate 50 cows. Great content. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. He heard folks saying he doesn't know DC, so he just trying to prove a point. Something like that, probably. You said he need to be on the commander's O-line, huh, man? Why can't I comment on your shorts? I don't know. I gotta look at that. I don't know. I ain't put no restriction on it. Bro said I sure ain't vote for him. He said, so nah, I ain't never seen the presidents come to the street. Salute uptown for life. You know what it do, salute. If I see Trump outside, I'm gonna tell him we got a slap box. Donald? Donald too old for that. He gonna sick somebody on you. I don't know, man. Let me take a poll. Y'all think Donald Trump gonna go to the south side of DC tonight? I was talking about it earlier on my Instagram, and I said Donald Trump the type of dude that might go to Willow Road somewhere, Southern Avenue, Kennedy Street. If he don't go to the trenches, he really ain't go outside. He doing what niggas in the streets do. Like I can go to the hood. Who think he gonna go to the hood? Let's take a poll right now, so when we talk about it later, I know exactly. I don't want to hear none of y'all saying. Excuse me. I don't want to hear none of y'all saying, oh, I knew he was going to go to the hood. Right here, right now, we got 100 people rocking with us, and we got a meatball or better. Right here, right now, who think he going to go to the hood? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Somebody said no. 4. Better not go to Wilder Place. Doubt it. Thumbs up. About his health. It's incredible. Maybe in the daylight. He said he coming out at night. That's what really got my attention. He said, of course, with the military. So, in order for the president to come out, right? Check this out. The president said he'd have made this joint safer again in 2 weeks. I ain't into politics. I'm neither here nor there with that. I reserve my opinion, though. But the president says that he made the city safe again. But in order for him to come out and ride around the city, he need the military. The White House, Capitol Hill, shitting at the hood. Okay, Commander said he ain't gonna hit the hood. He gotta go some urban place. He gotta make one stop in one hood. I'm not saying I want him to, cause he gonna shut the streets down. You got The Secret Service is in the streets right now trying to get ahead of this shit. Secretly, right? Secretly, the Secret Service is paranoid. They like, man, what the hell is he doing, man? He was a policeman over 50. He's too round. Might pull up down the quarters, tie the house with something real quick, and then back to the streets, back down the street. Trump is pulling up Trinidad. Somebody said exactly. No movement. Somebody said, not me. I remember the mayor does a stunt like that in Chicago projects, saying it was safe and stayed for a day to show. Got his ass up out of there. Well, the late great Marion Barry, who Washingtonians love, he went to the projects and played basketball with Jesse Jackson. Y'all know that, right? Shout out to Potomac God. Shout out to Potomac God. Let's get this fat boy up off here. In other news, real quick, since I'm just kicking it, y'all know that dude that they tried to say was the mastermind of the Young Dolph hit. You know he got found not guilty today. Y'all know that? Donald Trump going to DuPont Circle. He hitting K Street and Constitution Ave. He gonna hit up a McDonald's in the hood, try to flex. Nah, he ain't gonna do that one. He definitely ain't doing no McDonald's. Tell Donald come down Eastover right now. Somebody say Ivy City. What if Trump show up in Potomac Gardens? I wonder is he gonna do some shit like go to the hood for real? I'm sitting there thinking about it. He said it was 3 federal agents in that suit. Why is everyone freaking out about the National Guard? Why is everyone freaking out about the National Guard? Most people don't see the National Guard with Humvees and stuff like that in their neighborhood. Somebody said, oh, my man Sino said, yeah, I said that, E. That's why I rack them all. Tell people to rack that jury. Oh, yeah, you on that. Go Van going federal. What make you think he going federal? He going federal for what? He going to the feds, or is that a state case? He got found not guilty. He not going nowhere. Govan beat the state, but he won't beat the feds. I don't think the feds coming. He better prepare for the feds, though, because they don't like when you beat those charges. I've seen it personally, time after time. I seen it, too. When you beat the murders and high profile, they come a year later. It's been 4 years, bruh. Y'all know that, right? Young Dolph got killed in 21. I don't think the feds coming, y'all. You know, I know a little law myself. Nah, Trump going to the trenches would be crazy. Trump might go to the trenches. Damn, I gotta finish this video. What am I doing? I'm tripping. Trump a different animal, man. Dude, a stunt artist. These motherfuckers will wait 7, 8 years. I mean, for murders and shit, they can wait as long as they want. But now they can't just come get him for that because they never charged him for murder. It will have to be for a conspiracy. But I'm gonna tell y'all again, I don't think they coming. I don't think they gonna mess with him. I'm being honest with you. I don't think they coming. And it's more to him than what they just put in that case. He going to Brooklyn, Michigan, Park, safe zones. God's right there. Wouldn't be surprised. The God's is right there. Huge fan. I'm 23. Do you think a change can happen in D.C.? Not by putting the National Guards down Union Station. I don't think so. That's my personal opinion, though. Let me see what my man Sino said. My man Sino said, by Big Jook being dead, they might not. That's one thing that made me feel so strongly. He also said, I did hear the rat on the wire on the witness stand was asked about talking to the feds too. Somebody else did say that. I just think the feds would have moved on it already. You know, the faster you get to a case, it's not just a murder case now. The person that they accused of murder is locked up. Both of them is already gone. One told, the other one went down. Anything left now is a conspiracy. And remember, Gotti name never really comes up as a participant in anything. And if this Hernandez Govan case is any type of telescope into the case and what happened behind the scenes, his attorney spoke after the fact. I'm gonna do a video on it later on. I've been following the DC stuff more, but I got a little screen recording of the lawyer explaining how the government was reaching, and they tried to use text messages coming from Justin Johnson, who was straight dropped. That's the young dude that's convicted of the killing. They tried to use text messages of him to Govan. The lawyer characterized it as sending multiple threats and talking about shooting people. A part of the defense was that the dude never responded to the shit. And he got found guilty on both counts. Found not guilty on both counts. I just came from court today. What time in America? Yeah, that's why the Fed's stalling. They want Gotti. Yeah, I ain't gonna get into that internet back and forth with that one. I don't think they fucking with Gotti about that. If they bring something up on Gotti or some investigation they already had and they may throw that in there, they not coming to get Gotti for no Dolph. They done already convicted the other boy. The other nigga that told he down, he already gonna get his cop. This Govan dude went to trial, got found not guilty. I don't think the federal government spending no more money on Gotti. Gotti would have to do something or have done something already. I don't think they coming to get him for this. That's just my opinion. And I do see people saying, brother, feds are crazy. Bro, I'm from Washington, D.C. I done seen them do crazy shit. I know that. I just don't think they messing with Gotti enough. Shout out to Baltimore. Always bet on black. Salute, man. Much love. Bro, the feds are crazy. Nah, yeah, that's why the feds stalling. Okay. What time in America? I just came from court today. I hope you had a good day, bro. Govan won't be able to survive. He gonna die like his daughter. While he was hiding, his daughter died about Dolph. Damn, I ain't know that. I don't even know that to be true, but I never heard that one. But he said he gonna leave Memphis. Uncle Mo, what you doing? Yeah, so feds coming for Gotti. All right, I see you. I don't think so though. E, you're a smart individual and know about the law. When they think the state has a good case, they will let them run with it. If the state lose, they double back. I hear your point though. Hold on. You said that I don't think that that's always a joke. Give me a case. I ain't arguing with you. I'm just talking. But give me a case right now. I want to challenge that point for people to know. Give me a case right now, a group, a gang, or anything where they let the feds, where they let the state. I'm not saying they don't do it, but give me a old case or new case where they let the state go first and then the feds came back to get them. Most of the time, the feds tell them leave it alone and go do it. Now, in my city, in D.C., They had a few cases from the late 80s, early 90s where they let the murders go down. They beat the murders in Superior Court, which is like state court. Then the feds came and got them with an investigation as they put it all together. But give me an example of what you talk about right now. That's not really the practice of the U.S. Attorney's Office right now. The U.S. Attorney's Office is going to get you first nowadays. D.C. courts are on some shit since Trump. I have a few homies in the feds where the feds double back after beating murders. Well, if you only making that point, then that's regular. Like most of the time, people beat murders in state courts, and then they come back with RICOs for investigations that expand beyond. Somebody said feds always double back if state can't do it. They don't always double back, bro. And especially not on individuals. Maybe on crews like bro talking about, I give you that, but that's not a, we say that, we all say that. I'd have said that before as a youngster, but as I started looking through these court cases, that's not always the case. And remember, the feds never come back and get you just for one murder. You know that, right? The feds put murders with a conspiracy. There's no other way to charge murder in the feds. A murder in the feds can only be charged by way of doing something else. Kidnapping, bank robbery, drug conspiracy. The United States government don't just charge you with homicide. They don't even have jurisdiction to charge you with just homicide without another conspiracy, which is why every time you see somebody charged with homicide, there's something else to go with it. Bank robbery, kidnapping, arm a car, drug dealing, drug conspiracy. You understand what I'm saying? And 1111, whatever the code is, I forgot it. It's something like that. I done seen my buddies get it in federal prison, but only because they're in federal prison. So we ain't got to switch the conversation to the feds. But I'm just saying, they don't charge one single murder. If they had to come get Gotti, let me exercise some thought and explore what you saying. Because I know you're not just making it up, man. You from the streets. I know every time you talk, you know what you're talking about. I'm just pushing back a little bit like on some devil's advocate. I'm telling you that if the feds had to go get Gotti, they can't just go get Gotti for homicide. They would have to go get Gotti for something like murder for hire, which is something like a violation of 1935. It'll be the same thing with Lil Durk. It'll be like murder for hire, Hobbs Act, shit like that. They won't go get him just for homicide. That's a state charge, which is why they done dealt with this Dolph murder in the state of Tennessee and the county of Colby for 4 years. That's the last trial on that Dolph shit statewide. Statewide case closed. Go Van beat it, not guilty. Proven time after time, circumstantial hearsay. Nah, Gotti wasn't involved in none of that. And I met Jook a few times. He was the one out there. He wouldn't have involved his brother. Now, I believe what you saying, Cino. I never met him. I met some guys that was locked up in the feds with him, but excuse what I don't know or what I do know personally. Just judging what happened in the courtroom. I watched the entire straight drop case. Justin Johnson, the one they convicted of killing Dolph, right? And in the case, even when they brought Gotti's name up, Gotti's name was interjected by a prosecutor, a government witness, or the defense attorney, when the defense attorney was alluding to that Cornelius Smith, which is the dude that had the Draco, that hit Dolph like 18, 19 times and then told on it. He insinuated that that boy got $50,000 from CMG. He insinuated it. They never proved it. No proof ever came out about Gotti giving up no money individually. Now, yeah, it'd be a strong reach. I see all these other guys making these videos that they coming for CMG. I really believe that's clickbait. If you watch the trial, I watched the trial. Most of these guys ain't watched that trial. I covered that whole trial. Same reason I didn't cover this whole trial, because I knew Govan was going to beat this case. That's the reason I didn't cover it. I really felt he was going to be the case. One of the reasons I felt he was going to be the case was because before they even locked up, he only was locked up like 9 months, and that came from violating his bond or something. But he was going to trial from the streets, and I believe that they mentioned he was going to cooperate. If you remember back in the straight drop case, they said that they had another witness, and they alluded to it being him. I'm not trying to put no smut on the dude's name. I don't know the dude. I'm judging from the case. They said there would be no reason for him to testify because it may be something What word am I looking for? It may be something that kind of proves the innocent of the defendant. It would be something like exculpatory evidence. I don't want to get all jazzy, but they didn't use it, and they alluded to that he had did some talking. However, I don't know that. I don't know what the truth is on that one. I don't want to double down on that. They hit her up 15 times. Damn. His daughter was bringing niggas moves, getting them bagged. That wasn't no Dolph shit. Okay, I don't know about that neither. Nah, I'm only speaking about individuals, not big conspiracy cases. All right, I got you, C-No. I understand. God insulated. If Feds had anything on you, on God, they would. If the Feds had anything on you, he would have been got him. That's what I believe. You don't let him get bigger and stronger and cleaner and get his money right. You go get him. Like they did with Supreme and Girl Gotti. They grabbed everybody and froze the assets so you can't fight. Who you say famous Richard beat a gun case and the feds double backed and bagged him. And that was just a simple gun case. Would they double back and bag him on though? They ain't double back and bag him on the same gun though, right? He said, true. Okay, I got you. Rick, what's up, Slim? He said, they do that with gun cases sometimes. Yes, they do. That's why I was asking him, how do they do it? Nigga, your GTA 5. Okay. Real spill. Yeah, the feds don't have a murder charge without something else with it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I had one of them joints. You the biggest goofy in your city. Okay, I read your comment. Drug trafficking. What happened? Gotti, who's that? I'm from what? All right, free smirk. You seem to know a lot about this prison thing. Well, we wasn't talking about prison just now. We was just talking law, court, crime. I didn't say nothing about prison. I said everything about court cases. That's not prison. I'm watching from Baltimore City. Shout out to Baltimore City. Peace, E in the chat. Any investment advice? Nah, I ain't a good like what I'm gonna tell you invest in ain't the type of thing we're gonna talk about on here. I'm not that guy. Nah, E, I'm with you 100%. Salute, I dig it. Is the DEA making arrests by themselves or are they assisting DC police? It's more of a together thing. Like I ain't seen the DEA or none of the Fed agents just pull up by themselves. If they doing, if you see the Feds pull up by themselves, then they on their Fed business. If you see them together with DC police, that's this new thing that they talk about now. Just like how Trump saying he coming outside tonight. I want to try to catch him, man. I might go outside on a scooter or something. I ain't in no car. They not gonna pull me over. Yeah, Rick said assisting the police. That's all I see too. That was the same gun case. Famous Richard got bagged for one he beat. Explain that to me. Like I can't really oppose you or agree with you without you explaining it to me. I don't know the case. Did he catch a gun case in state, go to court, beat it, and then the feds boarding up on something else? Because there is double jeopardy. The only way the feds get away around double jeopardy is to charge you with a conspiracy that includes that crime in it. You can't get found not guilty on one case and then go back to the feds legally on the same case. However, I really look forward to one day having a sit down with Joy Merlino. In federal court, and they charged them guys with all type of conspiracy. In federal court, he beat a body in Pennsylvania, and they doubled back and charged him with the exact same murder in the state of New Jersey. So anomalies and violations of the law do happen. Like I'm not the type of guy to say, hey, license registration, if you give it to them and you say you exercise your Fourth Amendment, you don't got to get out the car. If they pull you out the car, put a weapon to your hand and snatch you out the car, I'm not the dude to say, what else can you do? But if you go to court, and even right now with all this going on in the world, judges are still dismissing some of these overcharged charges. Salute, player. What's up?
You know, Boosie's situation is different, bro. You said they have to change the charge to charge you like they did Boosie. They changed the charge on Boosie because they got new evidence. They still would have charged Boosie with felon in possession regardless. You know that, right? They just added drugs to it. They don't need the drug. They only thing changed in Boosie's charge is a drug charge added to it. They still would have charged him with felon in possession because Boosie never beat the charge in state court. He got arrested by the San Diego Sheriff's Department, who saw him by surveillance through helicopter. In state court, Boosie may have beat that just on his Fourth Amendment right. He had no reason to do that. They dismissed it. Then the feds came back and charged him with 922G, bruh. 922G is the regular felon in possession. Then they came and added the enhancement element to it, which says something about felon in possession, something while drugs. They didn't need that to charge him. 922G sufficiently charges felon in possession of a firearm. I know that I ain't got to tell you how I know that. I know that for sure, which is why I'm quoting the exact law. I see them drive through deep, but they don't get out. DC police doing their thing, though. I saw that. More facts, okay. Have you considered going to law school? I went to law school. I went to jail for 17 years. Although I don't have no credentials, I don't have no piece of paper. I know some of that law. Yeah, the feds dropped the felon in possession, then charged him that 922. No, 922 covers it, bro. Let me explain something to you. 922 goes from something like A to Z. Like 922G is the felon in possession. 922O is when you put the switch on the glizzy and now the glizzy are fully or you get caught with a UWAP. 922O is still 922. Shout out to Players Only TV. I appreciate the super chat. You dig? So even and see, no, always fact check what I'm saying because I'm only as good as y'all are. Google 922 right now while we on here if you don't mind and just see 922G and 922O. Those the only ones I remember off the top of my head because all my young niggas that get caught with the switch, they charge them 922O. That's how I know it. That's the machine gun provision. 922G. I always watched it. All my homies that came home on parole, every time they got caught with a gun, they got charged with 922G. I see you got it there now. And that's only federal. Remember, DC got a gun charge and a felon in possession charge too. I forgot what that is. 2200 something. I don't know that off the top of my head. It only carry like a year and some change. From 1 year to 5 years or 1 year to 3 years is a very mild or lenient sentence. I'm telling E Richmond checking it. Shout out to my Richmond crew. Salute. I had some words, and for real, when I look back on it, I don't feel good about all the stuff that I said about the dude, Grown Man Business TV. I'm not gonna keep indulging in all this internet shit. I responded to some things, but for real, bruh, I'm not gonna keep responding to dudes that just want a bar fight or something. And I ain't even taking the opportunity. I ain't even talk about that. I'm just saying, don't even bring me nothing. If somebody got something to say about me and you inform me of it, I appreciate it. But don't expect me to be responding to these dudes. You know what I mean? It ain't even that serious that we get to talking about certain street shit, you know? But he said I had that gun charge in 91. Yeah. You in Richmond, California? Oh no, I thought he was in Richmond, Virginia. You in Richmond, California, or they just saying that? Section, okay, here go Chris P. Section 922G specifically lists categories of people who are not allowed to ship, transport, possess, or receive firearms or ammunition. Okay, I knew that one off the top. Thanks for looking that up, homie. Appreciate it. Player Only TV, salute. Thanks for supporting Trump's administration. You supposed to be trolling. You supposed to be trolling. Carrying a pistol without a license. Oh, the DC carrying a pistol without a license. I had that charge at 14. That's the Bay Area, Richmond, California. Yeah, I know. I thought he was talking about Richmond, Virginia checking in. Shit happens. I wouldn't trip either. Everyone ain't going to rock with you. Nah, not at all. Richmond, VA. Yeah, I knew he was from Richmond, VA. This ain't the first time he taps in. But I already asked that question. A lot of y'all said y'all think Trump gonna go to the hood. All right, I'm gonna get my answer on that before I tap out real quick. I think he gonna go to the hood. I think he gonna pull up somewhere. I can't lie to you. I think he gonna pull up somewhere. Whole topic was Rayful assassinated in your opinion? I don't think so. I don't think he was assassinated. Lying on who? What y'all talking about? Oh, from Oakland. What you talking about? Somewhere or wherever they make an arrest. Oh, you think he might pull up after the fact like the news? It, it gotta be a photo op. You said the hood gonna support him. The hood gonna support him, huh? Trump ain't about no photo ops, bro. Well, you just talking, huh? Everybody that do politics is about a photo op. If he wasn't about a photo op, why they send a social media team out with the FBI and the DEA and the feds starting yesterday? If it ain't about photo ops, like I really need to stop giving that shit you talking attention. But now you ask the question that I have an answer to. If he ain't, or you made a comment that I got to answer to. If he's not about a photo op, why did they send a social media team out with the feds to take pictures of their interactions with the community? They ain't send a person out to take photos or video to protect them from any type of legal action. They sent what they call a social media team out. Once again, you don't know what you're talking about. Say Trump ain't walking through Potomac Gardens. Why would they take pictures? Why you asking me why would they take pictures? Look it up. Google. Trump administration sends out social media team. I ain't well, you be talking like you up on game and don't know. Now I'm hipping you to something. Go Google it. Trump administration sends out social media team. What do you send out a social media team for? To promote whatever the hell is going on, your social media. They sent out a social media team to travel with the feds. Ain't nobody protecting me, bruh. I got multiple pit bulls. Keep that rocket. Like I'm good. Nine 22-0. Except as provided in paragraph 2, it shall be unlawful for any person to transfer or possess a machine gun. Salute. Man got my back. I said, well, I wouldn't. I don't know. I'm lost now, bro. He has mastered the internet. Who did? To protect y'all, whatnot, and social media. There you go. GMB TV went crazy on you. On the internet, Trump whole life been about a photo op. Tank gonna get that quick bag with Jake Paul, come back and stomp Roach. KD, I'm disappointed in Tank, bro. I think Tank's scared of Roach, bro. Why the hell would you? He gonna get a bag. He gonna get it. Them planes, boy. Man, I would have been scared as shit. The flap on the plane peeled off during the flight. I would have been scared as shit. My bad, y'all. I'm already be annoyed on them planes, man. Love the DC Black content salute allegedly is spelled with a N and not an E. He say every public figure damn near use social media. What public figure sends a social media team out with the federal agents to make traffic stops, bro? You act like you're avoiding what I'm saying. Tank bogus for fighting Jake Paul. Tank is tripping for fighting Jake Paul. I mean, I understand the money and all that, but you don't duck no business that y'all just had a draw on. You get back to the business. I'm confused. Unless something else up, I'm confused. I thought you were in with Trump. I don't know who you talking about. Not me. I'm not in or not in. I'm an independent, and you know I live in this country, so I'm subject to the law. Like I ain't no big time. I ain't on none of that for real. DC getting a wake up call. I don't know if I agree with that. He not getting 100 for Roach fight. That's true. That's true. He not gonna fight Jake Paul. Shit. He gonna get that bag. Roach a dog. That's $40 million to a nigga from West Baltimore. Roach ain't going nowhere. He scored like shit. He said, man, nigga, the fuck is you talking about? That's $40 million to a nigga from West Baltimore. Fuck Roach. That's what you wanted to say. Let me say it for you. Nigga, fuck Roach. No disrespect to Roach. I'm just joking, y'all. For somebody take that one part. Say, I said fuck Roach. I ain't saying, I'm talking about literally and figuratively speaking about a guy from West Baltimore. Bruh say that's $40 million, nigga. Fuck Roach. Fuck if you think I can't fight. I've been knocking niggas out for 10, 15, 20 years. I'm going to go get that $40 million where I know I can get it. I do the same thing, KD. You scored with that one. Fuck Roach on that tip. But I was gonna I don't know if I was gonna troll Tank, which I still might troll him a little bit. But now you done hit me with the $40 million. It kind of took my whole thought of what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, hold on, Tank might be scared of Roach. But like you said, man, that's wild, not the flip. Not the flap, yeah. That's why I don't fly. You gotta fly to get some places though, bro. Cause they announced the flight. Is why people believe it. Polo replied to your story. Nigga, I agree. Tank was supposed to fight Roach again. I'm saying on some fighter shit, but on some where you come from shit, I'm gonna say what bruh said. Tank from West Baltimore. $40 million, man. Roach ain't going nowhere. Damn. Go get that 40 million. I guess so. I'm not on board or off board. Like Trump name is on that second chance act or whatever that shit is. Let all my buddies come home. I'm in support of that. Am I in support of him taking over the city? No. I'm in support of him saying they're gonna get gun rights back to felons if the felons have fulfilled all their conditions of supervised release and probation or parole or whatever. I'm on board when Trump and them through the Trump administration saying they're not going to charge regular citizens in the District of Columbia or residents if they're not felons for possessing shotguns and rifles. That's an age-old DC law. The other people change. So when Janine Pirro come in here talking about she gonna do all this and all that, I ain't seen nobody protest her saying that she's gonna not charge shotguns and rifles as felonies in DC. You don't have to agree, but it's true. DC sleep proved me wrong. I don't even want to debate it. Why would I prove you wrong? That's still debating it. I don't have no argument with what you talking about, bro. Nah, for real. Tank from the trenches. He trained from the trenches. He should have took the 40 mil, but he's still gonna get trolled about not fighting Shawty. Laugh out loud, 40 million is 40 million. You ain't never made me laugh, bro. Hey, Slim, hey, KD, he's saying, fuck all that West Baltimore shit. That West Baltimore shit made me laugh. Cause you said E from West Baltimore supposed to take the 40 million. Yeah, you got me. But bruh just came back and said 40 million is 40 million. I wouldn't give a fuck if you was from the Hamptons. I wouldn't care if you was from 90210. Nigga, 40 fucking million. That's a payday. That's a paycheck. 40 million, you can buy Baltimore. Damn. 44 layup fight. It's crazy work. You gotta take that's almost a no-brainer. It ain't nothing even to be debated unless you're a true fight fan like myself. 44 layup. Shit, Buster knocked Mike ass out for 1 million. He said Buster knocked Mike out for 1 million. Are you a crackhead? Your mother sell box for 40? I'll take that fight for 40 million. I fight Jake Paul for 40 million. I fight Jake Paul and Tank together for 40 million. Especially if I can sneak that motherfucking knife in there. I fight both of them niggas together for 40 million. With that Smith and Wesson on me. Oh shit, y'all got a nigga laughing, man. You don't even have a picture up. Stop it. What you mean? Oh, she talking to somebody. My fault. My fault getting in your business. My bad. It's shit like that. Jake Paul finna sleep Tank. Hell no. Always bet on Black said, when did Tank confirm he was fighting Jake Paul? Him and Roach have a signed contract. That's what I thought. But I seen it all over the internet. I'm only speaking on what we talking about. I don't know the contractual setups, man. Agents walking around all day in DC. In my opinion, when I go outside, I ain't gonna say they walking around all day because you don't see them all day. But they say they are moving around all day. You may not see them in the same place all day, but when I see them myself, and then I see other people Instagram videos or live and they seen them somewhere else, I done started, but this come from my street days. My man C-No gonna know what I'm talking about. I done learned them already. I know who Terry Cole is. He the head of the DEA. I know who Cash Patel is. He the director of the FBI. I know the other three dudes at the top of the ice zone in town. I don't know their names, but I know their faces. They got NYC on their hat. The other rogue ice crew got Maryland tags. They mostly snatching dudes that have illegal papers or orders of removal and have Maryland warrants. So I'm learning them like I did when I was a D-boy. You know when you was a D-boy? For those of us who unfortunately grew up and we were D-boys before, I'm not saying it proudly. But I'm referring to a era in time. When I was a D-boy, I knew what was up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I knew the jump out cars. I knew the stick-up boys. I knew the cars. Within 2 weeks, I done learned who is ICE, who is Homeland Security, and all these other things, which you pretty much know here in DC because you got to know how to navigate is the word I'm gonna use. And Baltimore, y'all don't really have to deal with this as much as us. But in DC, we got to navigate around them Fed boys and them local boys all day, every day. You dig what I'm saying? And correct me if I'm wrong, my Baltimore people. In Baltimore, you only got to navigate through Baltimore City. If you really banging, you're going to have to navigate FBI and DEA by themselves, not together. And if you get enough money to move outside the city and move it to the county, you're going to have to deal with the county. Y'all really going to have to deal with all that shit we deal with here. We deal with the DEA, FBI, ATF, Capitol Hill Police, Embassy Police, Secret Service Police, U.S. Marshals, Homeland Security, Border Control, and now ICE. That's only 10. Somebody told me the other day there's almost 30 agencies here. Those just the 10 off the top of my head. If I wanted to sit down and scratch my head, I'm sure I could come up with 5 more. You dig what I'm saying? I know I could come up with 5 more. You see, I'm out, y'all. Stay easy. Salute, appreciate you too. Me too. What you laughing at? Jake Paul will make sure he wins. He'll pay you off. Tank can't take no loss from Jake Paul. I don't care how much they paying. He ain't on no Mike Tyson age range. Tank winning is not out the question. No bull. They don't have a signed contract, baby girl. That's what I thought. 10 million was Tank's biggest purse. It was. So if 10 million was his biggest purse, 40 million is a no-brainer. Like I said, see no shit out getting knocked out for 10 million. I'm gonna take my chances for 10 million too. Man, Roach ain't got no rematch clause in there. He the B-side fighter. He don't dictate shit. Damn, you might be right on that. What's up, baby bear? I miss you, dude. You must be talking to your mother. Tank would definitely sleep JP unless it's fixed. That's what I think. But they say the dude J. Paul might be 195 pounds. Like, what's up with that? Give him law. Another day in DC, am I right, though? Somebody said definitely eat, let him know. Gotta learn the land. You gotta do that in DC. That's why we act like we act. We always under scrutiny here. If you was really getting some money or really in the streets and you from Washington, DC, I ain't talking about you just some type of delinquent that came off the porch and started getting locked up. I'm talking about you was really out here doing shit around shit. You know the multiple different polices, the multiple different law enforcement. Let me not keep saying that to get people mixed up. We knew the scat and the jump outs. We knew all that, didn't we? Park police. I never saw so many agents until I visited DC. All right, now you understand what I'm saying then. Oh, I left out Amtrak police. I left out Metro Transit police. All these police can lock you up in the right circumstances. Uh, DC Public Library police. Like, it's all type of police. Special police. The SPOs, even though they ain't really police, they law enforcement as far as I'm concerned. If they got handcuffs and a gun and a radio, they the police. I wouldn't care if they rental cops. Although rental cops, like, is a difference in them. But still, if they got a gun and they got handcuffs, they the police. There's a rack of agencies out here. Metro Police. I just said that before I seen your comment. Know their enemies always, for sure. Park Rangers. Social Security even has their own special police. Yeah, somebody else got some police. Man, it's all type of police, bruh. Baltimore doesn't have to worry about feds unless they break fed law. That's why I said I ain't want to disrespect. Baltimore got a lot of big niggas out there. That's why I said unless the DEA or the feds already on you, like Rudy Williams and Melvin Williams and all them type of dudes from back then, Bodie and all them OGs that came out of like Lexington Terrace and all them spots from back in the day that's like going them age from where I'm from. Them dudes was ducking the feds. I've been to their federal courthouse down there. Their federal courthouse always jamming. DC, the most police district in the world. It's definitely one of the most police jumps in the world according to the facts. Imagine worrying about the police. We not worried about no police, bro. We just talking about how many police agencies and law enforcement agencies there's in the District of Columbia, which actually supports my point that we don't need 100,000 more National Guards and 100 other federal agencies when it's already the feds here. I was walking down the street yesterday. They got the National Guard staying in hotels all over the place downtown, having car accidents and shit. Smithsonian police, library police, postal police. I thought I said that. I might have forgot the postal police. You most definitely know what you speaking about. Salute. Exactly, Slim Southwest Nelly. What it do? That's the danger of giving these officers the power of option of not identifying themselves. I don't agree with that, not identifying yourself. Uptown back in the day, we had a guy that smoked the police because they didn't have a vest on, they police, they wasn't identified and they beat it. You cannot be jumping out on people in this climate. And we don't know if you, and people, let me not keep saying we, and no one knows if you're really the police or not. That's crazy. I didn't know library police was, yes, DC Public Library Police. I'm missing like 10 more agencies, bro. Homeland, Border Patrol, ICE. I think ERO, emergency remove something. I think that's a part of ICE. But if you Google Justice Department and Google any agency underneath the Justice Department, every Justice Department agency is in the District of Columbia, to my knowledge. A representative of them. Oh, FBI police. We ain't talking about FBI. I'm talking about FBI police. Have y'all ever seen FBI police? I'm in Akron, Ohio, in the media, 20 minutes away. They had facial recognition on their police cars. Goddamn. Heroin money is like no other money. I think so. But they will hide your ass in the feds. Yes, they will. As long as you see one or two guys with the identification, they good. He said something else that's right. You on the road. The last two, three things you said was correct. That's law. That's why a lot of people not understanding. The leader or whoever was in control or in charge of that crew of ICE agents that jumped out on that three-car thing where one of them failed and bust their head. I showed a video of it. It's all over the local news here in DC. I don't know about national news. But they kept saying that they were unmarked. I'm glad he said that. I think that's a rule. One of them had a badge that said ICE. I think it's sufficient only for one. Anton Daniels is one uppity house ninja. Eon talking bad about DC. I know I'm gonna get to that later on. If you're not doing anything criminal and stay out the way, why are you worried? Because I live here. Because people get arrested for things they didn't do sometimes. Because now they got Humvees in the streets and they crashing and they tearing up the roads that I gotta drive on. They be fucking up for potholes where I'm at. Because home rule here where I'm from says you can't do it. And I don't allow or I don't like for people to violate my rights in any type of way. If the law says I have a Fourth Amendment right, see you one of them niggas when the police pull you over and they say, hey, how you doing? You doing okay? You mind if I search your car? You get stuck and you don't know. You say, yeah, yes, sir. When they say, hey, how you doing? What you doing? What you been up today? I be like, I'm all right. I'm good. My name Eon. We'll see my license. You mind if we search your car? I don't want you to search my car. Why not? I don't want you to search my car. I don't really have nothing else to say. That's me. That's you. Yeah, go ahead and search my car. I don't mind. Fuck out of here. Hey. Well, all right, now you got something to say. I don't want to talk to you. You sound like a house nigga, bro. You sound like a defunct house Negro, bro. Talking about if you don't break the law and you don't do this, why would you worry? You don't know nothing about no rights. The same rights you using to sit on this phone and type, you wouldn't even have them if it weren't for somebody else, man, doing certain things that you evidently are ungrateful for. Nah, you a house nigga because you don't understand that when they start violating the rights of anyone, that they are violating the rights of everyone. Either you're a house nigga or you're a dumb nigga, you pick. I don't know. You giving me the impression that you one of the two, a house nigga or a dumb nigga. Which one? Whatever type of nigga you is, you ain't resisting nothing. For you to be sitting around and say, who cares? And if you're not doing nothing, why? Because it's wrong. It's fucking illegal, motherfucker. The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck you mean name the right and the policy? Home rule in 1973, I've done multiple videos on it, bro. You just talking, I'm done talking to you. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna entertain you like you really care. Google home rule in 1973 if you really care. That's one right. The other thing is, we got a United States attorney here that come from New York that don't understand DC law that's talking about she gonna repeal DC laws that let motherfuckers out of jail that were rehabilitated. Not people out of jail that's still out here committing crimes, and you sitting out here talking about what does it matter? I can't bring you all the way to the 12th grade when you're supposed to be in pre-kindergarten. I can't bring you all the way to 12th grade in a few minutes on the live stream, bro. I apologize if that's what you want. I can't do that. I don't know how old you are, but you're going to have to go do some other little things first. You ain't just want to be informed. You challenge what I was saying. You challenge what I was saying. And it's cool. It's no problem. I mean, I gave you the quick version of it. He say when they plan something, it's going to be blah, blah, blah. Supreme Court, right. What you mean? What rights you want me to name? The Fourth Amendment, bro? The Fourth Amendment protects you against illegal search and seizure. Whatever rights you want, bro. Like, stop playing with me like whatever rights you want. Now you got it. The Fourth Amendment protects you against illegal search and seizure. The Second Amendment gives you the right to bear arms. Since you one of them niggas that say you don't break the law, do you have a gun license? Or do you live in a city or a state that you need one? Do you possess a firearm? What if motherfucking race war broke back out? What if the Civil War came back? Are you prepared for anything? Can you defend your house? The one you're saying is gone. You out your mind if you think the Fourth Amendment gone. I'm done talking to you. Shifty, what's up, bro? Get that nigga to business home. Salam alaikum. That nigga just talking. He talking about the Fourth Amendment is gone. So just let them stick their finger in your butt. Bend over, cough, and squat. Fuck. I don't even want to talk to you no more if you believe that. Y'all should y'all should send that nigga up top. Oh, somebody said they got a gun license. He said, I'm asking, is a gun not supposed to be? Y'all said rice or gone. Ain't nobody say rice or gone. You missed it, bruh. I gotta make a run, y'all. Salute to the chat, free the real, man.